everybody's on the Ashton Jeanty bandwagon. Everybody wants to say nice things about the Boise State running back, forgetting that he plays running back at Boise State. I understand you like watching the dude play. I like watching the dude play. I like short, fast dudes. They're my favorite kind. However, please stop talking about this man in the same breath as Derrick Henry and Reggie Bush. It's not there. Okay? Let me walk this out for you. Where did Reggie Bush play football? USC. Who did he primarily play football against? Pac-12 opponents. Okay. Derrick Henry. Where did he play football? Alabama. Who did he primarily play against? SEC teams. But RJ, look at his yardage. Dog, I can show you a 3,000-yard rusher at Tulsa Edison just 5 years ago named Savion Morrison. By the way, still playing football today. That man was a monster, rushing for 3,200 yards in 1 year football. But would I call him the best player in the entire high school football sport? I would not. Okay? Ashton Jeanty is fun. The dude's going to be a Heisman finalist. Let that be the trophy. Because I'm telling y'all, the Heisman voters, they don't give a damn. They've never given a damn. They have never given a damn about somebody playing in the group of five putting up numbers. If they did, justice for Jordan Lynch. We could start there. We keep going down the line because we got great group of five player after great group of five player after great group of five player that does not get his proper props. That would be Ashton Jeanty as well. Hey, he might be RB1 in 2025. You trying to tell me that the running back class that's going to feature Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson, you're going to see Ashton Jeanty going before them? Monique voice. I would like to see it. I would like to see it. I don't see it. That said, I have fun watching the dude, right? 6 games, 1,200 yards rushing is disgusting. 6 games, 1,200 yards rushing against Mountain West opponents plus Oregon, not as disgusting, right? But still disgusting. And for those of y'all that are like, man, he could rush for like 2,500 yards, realize that Barry Sanders rushed for 26, 1988. When everybody knew that you were handing the ball to Barry Sanders, he was still doing it like Ashton Jeanty was doing it, and he probably ends up with fewer yards than Ashton Jeanty will end up with, and Ashton Jeanty will probably play in a bowl game. Or maybe he won't, depending on what you think about the NFL draft. One more major topic that I wanted to hit on tonight. Is Colorado good without Travis Hunter? Probably not. But what we learned against Kansas State is they not very good if you're going to get 4 of your top 6 receivers injured, starting with Travis Hunter. So Shedeur Sanders was basically throwing to the threes toward the end of the game. And you know what? Damn well got it done. Damn near got it done with the threes against Kansas State. Now, that great Colorado defense everybody want to tell me about gave up 179 yards rushing to DJ Giddens. And be like, but DJ Giddens ran all up and down over his opponents last week. Against Oklahoma State, he put up numbers. Yup. Do you think that Oklahoma State's a better football team than Colorado? It's a question. If you're saying toss up, okay. You're making my point here. Because Oklahoma State, now nowhere near top 25, right? They down there, Oklahoma down there with them. It's also put a dampening on Travis Hunter's Heisman Trophy odds. Because I'm thinking he plays an entire year going both ways. The numbers will be there. Hand him the trophy. Now, Prime didn't even give it an injury update because he didn't have one to give. Just saw the dude had his shoulder wrapped up and was standing on the sideline trying to root his team on. Okay? If he can't play, that's not just your number one wide receiver. That's your number one corner and your best defender. So you've lost 2 players when Travis Hunter gets hurt. That is obviously the risk you run when you play him both ways. Would we want Dion to play him a little less both ways? Not at this point, no. That dude has demonstrated he can do it. He also has demonstrated that he cannot finish an entire season without taking an injury that's going to knock him out for at least a half of football. We'll see if he can come back, and we'll see what he can do it against, but it's also going to be really tough for Colorado to get into a Big 12 championship game, which would be, I think, the bottom for how they could get into a college football playoff. And now they're stuck at 4 wins. They can't get past 5 yet. It's harder still to get to 5 wins if you got 4 of your top 6 receivers that are down. It's hard. Almost, some might say impossible. I don't think it's impossible, but I do think it is something that you have to really take into account, as Shedeur Sanders can't catch his own passes. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to run the ball with some level of credibility now because you just ain't got the bodies at wide receiver like you need. So I'm curious to find out what Pat Shurmur decides to do, knowing he had all these dudes lost. And Amarion Miller was playing his behind off before he went off with a leg injury. Like, I think he had 7 for 145. Just dealing out there. You know, same thing is going down. Jimmy Horn is hurt. You know, your number 2 wide receiver, one of your better kick returners and punt returners. It's going to be tough for Colorado to make the kind of noise that they were threatening to make even a week ago, right? And how much does it suck to get off a bye week to see Travis Hunter get hurt? Because it's like, oh, he made it to the bye week, everything's going to be okay. No, everything is not going to be okay, especially in a Big 12 that is unpredictable. We got Iowa State, we got BYU, we got a Texas Tech. All of those feel like they can make the Big 12 championship game right now. Utah looks bad. Arizona State's 5-1. I don't know how they're not a top 25 team for many. Cam Scatterboo is that dude that's going to get you a yard +1. You're going to get what you need out of him. He's going to find a way. Just keep feeding him the rock. Really outstanding win for them. But the Big 12 was a place where I thought Colorado might be able to exceed my expectations. Maybe not yours, right? But exceed my expectations. And they still might. But it is really difficult when you ain't got players. And it is impossible when you can't stop people running the football on you. Because on top of it's demoralizing and it's hard on the body to have somebody running at you, pushing you off the ball, they're also eating up the clock. And Colorado would have to score explosively, and scoring explosively without top talent at wide receiver, damn near impossible without a run game. And they ain't got a run game. Not really. You know what I mean? Let's be honest about that. We can tell the truth on this show, shame the devil. I think we're going to find out so much more about the middle of these conferences than we thought we knew. Because Iowa putting up 40 on Washington, I didn't see coming after Washington beat Michigan soundly. USC being 3-3 at the halfway mark, didn't see that coming. Damn near, though, pulled off a win against what was the number 4 team in the country and now the number 3 team in the country in Penn State, but a soft number 3, a soft number 4. We're also looking around going, wait, Florida's giving people fair fights? Yeah. Florida beat Mississippi State like they stole something. Mississippi State lost by 10 to Georgia, but had a quarterback go for 306. You know? Toledo stopped a mud hole in Mississippi State and walked it dry. That's a MAC team. Tennessee needed overtime to beat Florida and was penalized for it. Arkansas beats number 4 Tennessee, and we don't think that Arkansas is better than the upper echelon of the Big Ten. So through the middle, we got a lot to figure out. Vanderbilt, of all teams, right, could end up a 6, 7, 8 win team if things keep going their way. And I have no reason to believe that things aren't going to keep going their way when they upset the number 1 team in the country and then double up against Kentucky. It's been remarkable to watch what these programs are capable of and to see what the new conferences have wrought. Like, I know everybody wants to get mad about the cross-country flights, get mad about name, image, and likeness, get mad about the transfer portal, get mad about not really having a read on a team until right now because you're trying to find out how all these new pieces are going to work. But I love this stuff, man. I'm so in because the unpredictability of the sport is what makes the sport spectacular. And it's not as if we're not going to honor the Blue Bloods. The way I put this is, if you put Indiana in Penn State's clothes, you would rank Indiana where you have Penn State. But because it's Penn State, they get to be the number 3 team, and Indiana's still stuck in the teens. We're going to respect the Blue Blood. That's what we're going to do. We have decided that is what we're going to do as a sport. Notre Dame probably slides in the college football playoff because they're an independent. And frankly, they might have to do it the hard way. Army's undefeated, Navy's undefeated. They're both on their schedule this year. Talk about popping out of nowhere to give you a hard time. It's also a team that lost to Directional Illinois, right? A&M might be good. We don't know. Missouri is becoming who we thought Missouri was. Ole Miss is becoming who we thought Ole Miss has always been. But half the season is gone. We still got a second half to go. I'm excited to do it. We're going to talk about it. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the show. We do this live thing 3 times a week. We do segments every single day. I've always got something new to say about the sport, and I hope, am making you smarter about the sport. I get into the comments. Be kind, be courteous. You give me a reasonable thought, I will probably give you a reasonable response. Whether it's a fist bump or a little bit more than that, You come with your knives out? I got knives too. All right. That is going to do it for this live episode of the #1 college football show. I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.